Jaya Radha Gopijana Vallabha Giridharadhari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Vihari Gopijana Vallabha Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Gopijana Vallabha Giridharadhari Yashodanandana Brajajana Ranjana Yashodanandana Brajajana Ranjana Yashodanandana Brajajana Ranjana Yamuna Tiravanachari Yamuna Tiravanachari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Gopijana Vallabha Giridharadhari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Gopijana Vallabha Giridharadhari Yashodanandana Brajajana Ranjana Yashodanandana Brajajana Ranjana Yamuna Tiravanachari Yamuna Tiravanachari Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Jaya Jaya Prabhupada. Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Jaya Jaya Prabhupada. Hare Krishna. Welcome to today's Srimad Bhagavatam class. We'll proceed with Mangalacharya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. O my Lord, the all-pervading personality of Godhead, I offer my respectful obeisances unto you. Narayanam namaskritya naram chaiva narottamam devim saraswatim vyasam tato jayam udirayet. Before reciting the Srimad Bhagavatam, which is the very means of conquest, one should offer respectful obeisance unto Narayan, unto Nar Narayan Rishi, the supermost human being, unto Mother Saraswati, the goddess of learning, and unto Srila Vyasadeva, the author. Nashta praeshva bhadreshu nityam bhagavata sevaya bhagavati uttama shloke bhaktir bhavati naistiki. By regular attendance in the classes on Bhagavatam and by rendering of service to the pure devotee, all that is troublesome to the heart is almost completely destroyed, and loving service unto the personality of Godhead, who is praised with transcendental songs, is established as an irrevocable fact. Om Jnanatirmirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namah. I was born in the darkest of ignorance. Spiritual Master, open my eyes with the torchlight of knowledge. I offer my respectful obeisances unto you. Today we are reading from Canto 9, Chapter 22. We are continuing from where Sarthak Prabhu left off yesterday. We will be reading from text 27. Sarthak Prabhu, would you like to give an overview or summary of what's going on in this chapter?
It was about the descendants of the devotees.
Ajameda. Yes. And we stopped at discussing about Dhritarashtra, his wife, and his sons. Now we'll start off with Pandu. So who is Dhritarashtra's brother? Yes.
Pandu was restrained from sexual life because of having been cursed by a sage, and therefore his three sons, Yudhishthir, Bhim, and Arjun, were begotten through the womb of his wife Kunti by Dharmaraj, by the demigod controlling the wind, and by the demigod controlling the rain. Pandu's second wife, Madhiri, gave birth to Nakul and Sahadev, who were begotten by the two Ashwini Kumaras. The five brothers, headed by Yudhishthir, begot five sons through the womb of Draupadi. These five sons were beyond others.
From Yudhishthira came a son named Pratibindra, from Bhima a son named Shrutasena, from Arjuna a son named Shrutakirti, and from Nakula a son named Satalika.
It's 15, the son of Karayava, Sutakarma. Furthermore, Yudhishthira and his brothers named his sons in other wives. Yudhishthira begot a son named Devaka, through whom of Gauravi, and Bhima begot a son named Adotkacha, through his wife Hidimba, and a son named Sarvagata, through his wife Kahini. Similarly, Sahadev had a son named Suhotra, through his wife named Vijaya, who was the daughter of the king.
Devanshi Prabhu.
Nakula begot a son named Nalamitra through his wife named Karenumati. Similarly, Arjuna begot a son named Iravan through his wife known as Ulupi, the daughter of the Nagas, and a son named Bhagruvahana by the womb of the princess of Manipura. Bhagruvahana became the adopted son of the king Manipura.
Finally, King Parikshit, your father Abhimanyu was born from the womb of Subhadra as the son of Arjuna. He was the conqueror of all Athiratnas, which is those who could fight with 1,000 strategies. From him, by the womb of Uttara, the daughter of Viraraja, you were born.
After the Kuru dynasty was annihilated in the Battle of Kurukshetra, you were about to be destroyed by the Brahmastra atomic weapon released by the son of Dhurashakra. But by the mercy of the Supreme Personality of Godhead Krishna, you were saved from death.
My dear king, your four sons, Janmejaya, Shrutasena, Bhimasena, and Ugrasena, are very powerful. Janmejaya is the eldest.
Because of your death by the Takshaka snake, your son Janmejaya will be very angry and will perform a sacrifice to kill all the snakes in the world.
After conquering throughout the world and after accepting Tura, the son of Kalasa, as his priest, Janmejaya will perform Ashwamedh Yajna, for which he will be known as Purag Medasa.
The son of Janmejaya, known as Shatanika, will learn from Yajnavalkya the three Vedas and the art of performing ritualistic ceremonies. He will also learn the military art from Kripacharya and the transcendental science from the sage Shaunaka.
The son of Shatanika will be Sahasranika, and from him will come the son named Ashwamedha. From Ashwamedha will come Ashima Krishna, and his son will be Nemichakra.
When the dawn of Hastinapur, New Delhi is inundated by the river, Nemichakra will take the place known as Kaushambi. His son will be saluted as Chitrarat, and the son of Chitrarat will be Suchirat.
I think Jai.
From Suchitra, Suchirata will come the son named Vrishtiman, and his son Susena will be the emperor of the entire world. The son of Susena will be Sunita, his son will be Narchakshu, and from Narchakshu will come a son named Sukhinala.
The son of Sukhinala will be Pariplavadava, and his son will be Sunaya. From Sunaya will come a son named Medhavi, from Medhavi Nirpanjaya, from Nirpanjaya Dhruva, and from Dhruva Devi.
From Timi will come Bhadraratha, from Bhadraratha, Sudasa, and from Sudas, Santanika. From Santanika will come Yurudhamuna, and from him will come the son named Mahina.
The son of Mahinala will be Dandapani, and his son will be Mini, from whom King Shevaka will be born. I have now described to you the moon god's dynasty, which is the source of Brahmanas and Kshatriyas, and is worshipped by demigods and great saints. In this Kali Yuga, Shevaka will be the last monarch. Now I shall describe you the future of Magadha dynasty. Please listen.
Sadeva,
Early, the son of Jarasandha will have a son named Marjari. Marjari will come Sutsarva, Mustasarva, Hitayu, Ram. Son of Niramudra will be Sunakshatra. From Sunakshatra, come Sena and Sena Karan. Son of Karan is Sanjaya, son of Sanjaya will be Vipra, and his son will be Suchi. Son of Suchi will be Shema, son of Shema will be Suvarta. The son of Suvarta will be Dharmasutra. And Dharmasutra will come Sama, from Sama will Dhruva Sena, from Dhruva Sena, Sumati, and from Sumati Sabara.
From Subala will come Sunita, from Sunita Satyajit, from Satyajit Vishnuji, and from Vishnuji Ripunjaya. All of these personalities will belong to the dynasty of Bhagavata, which will rule the world for 1000 years.
Okay, now we'll go to text 32. कारेणुमत्यां नकुलो नरमित्र तथार्जुना इरावन्तम् उलूप्यां वै सुतायां बभ्रुवाहनाम् मणिपुरापते सोऽपि तत्पुत्र पुत्रिका सुता. Okay. कारेणुमत्यां नकुलो नरमित्रं तथार्जुना ईरावन्तम् उलूप्यां वै सुतायां बभ्रुवाहनाम् मणिपुरापते सोऽपि तत्पुत्रा पुत्रिका सुता. कारेणुमत्यां नकुलो नरामित्रं तथार्जुना ईरावन्तम् उलूप्यं वै सुतायां बभ्रुवाहनम् मणिपुरापते सोऽपि. रोहन प्रभु. तत्पुत्र पुत्रिका सुता. कारेणुमत्यां नकुलो एवरीवन तथार्जुना ईरावन्तम् उलूप्यां वै सुतायां बभ्रुवाहनाम् मणिपुरापते सोऽपि तत्पुत्रा पुत्रिका सुता. Thank you. Word to word. After me. Karenumatyam. And the wife named Karenumati. Nakula. Nakula. Naramitram. A son named Naramitra. Tatha. Also. Arjuna. Arjuna. Iravantam. Iravan. Ulupyam. In the womb of Nagakanya named Ulupi. Why? Indeed. Sutayam. In the daughter. Babruvahana. A son named Babruvahan. Manipurapate. Of the king of Manipur. Sa. He. Api. Although. Tat Putra. The son of Arjuna. Putrika Suta. The son of his maternal grandfather. Translation. Nakula begat a son named Naramitra through his wife named Karunamati. Similarly, Arjuna begat a son named Iravan through his wife known as Ulupi, the daughter of Nagas, and a son named Babruvahan by the womb of princess of Manipur. Babruvahan became the adopted son of king of Manipur. who would like to read purport? Vishesh Prabhu, please.
It is to be understood that Parvati is the daughter of the king of the very, very old mountainous country known as the Manipur state. 5,000 years ago, therefore, when the Pandavas ruled, Manipur existed, as did its kingdom. Therefore, this kingdom is a very old, aristocratic Vaishnava kingdom. If this kingdom is organized as a Vaishnava state, this revitalization will be a great success because for 5,000 years this state has maintained its identity. If the Vaishnava state is revived there, it will be a wonderful place, renowned throughout the entire world. Manipuri Vaishnavas are very famous in Vaishnava society. In Vrindavan and Navadvip, there are many temples constructed by the king of Manipur. Some of our devotees belong to the Manipur estate. The Krishna consciousness movement, therefore, can be well spread in the state of Manipur by the cooperative efforts of the Krishna conscious devotees.
Jai. Thank you so much for joining. Before starting, I would like to, set some guidelines. I would really appreciate if you can, avoid using your phones or anything like that. And if you want to use it, you can kindly step outside, use it, come back. Or, if you are feeling sleepy, maybe you can stand, wash your face, come back. So Manipur is in the northeast side of India, and why Prabhupada is on this side of India, and why Prabhupada is emphasizing on this, because the state has actually maintained its identity as Manipur from the time of Pandavas, like 5,000 years ago. It was called Manipur, and till date it's called Manipur. So he's telling that if somehow we are able to maintain the identity of like the state and organize it as a Vaishnava state, it can prosper very well. And then he says something very beautiful at the very end of this purport. He says that the Krishna consciousness movement therefore can be well spread in the state of Manipur by cooperative efforts of the Krishna conscious devotees. So I want to focus on this last line that Prabhupada says, cooperative efforts. So it's very important for us to work in unity and cooperative spirit. We always see this quote outside the office. It says that my love for you will be shown by how much you cooperate after I leave. So that shows like how much Prabhupada wanted us to cooperate and work together in this movement for it to go further, for it to benefit others, for it to benefit us. So it's very important for us to stay together, work in cooperation. If we have some challenges, if we have any conflicts with others, we should try to maybe resolve it, in a Vaishnava way. And if it's difficult for us to resolve it by ourselves, we can involve some seniors. I think it's called, I don't know what it's called, involving the third person, but it's like a mediator. Yes, exactly, a mediator. So if it's something big, we can also include a mediator. There's always a way. And I took this course called conflict resolution, and the speaker is coming today itself to the temple. His name is Vraj Bihari Prabhu. So he was the speaker of the course, and he mentioned something beautiful. He said, we perceive conflicts or disagreements as something bad, but it's not something bad. If if you know the way how to resolve it, then something very beautiful can come out of it also. So I was like, okay, it makes sense. And also if both the parties are cooperative to the spirit of resolving it and moving forward, for service of Krishna, for higher purpose, then it can be very fruitful. Uh, okay, I don't know if it's a good question to ask, but have you ever been in a conflict with someone in your life? Yes. How did it end up? If you would like to share something, if it was, I mean, eventually.
Quite a few conflicts. Quite a few. I think it's like undergrad, high school days, pretty nasty. It ends up nasty. Often, a few times, very close people getting torn apart. That is. But eventually, as I grew older, I realized that everything, which means this is also fine and people have different point of view. So I started to empathize more with other people's opinion, and it started to sort of become better, the conflict resolution. So, but often it creates a lot of ruckus and sort of people get pulled apart because of conflicts.
Was there any conflict where after that conflict you felt like closer to that person, or it was like
Not so far, I think.
yeah, maybe in future. But it also it happens also, if the misunderstandings are cleared nicely, then you may come closer to that person with whom you were having conflicts. And you were mentioning very beautifully yesterday also that before I used to get irritated for small things. Like if someone is behaving in a certain way, we would feel like saying something or maybe shutting them down. But eventually, when we grow older, we have some experience and then we gain some maturity. It's easier for us to back down and say this is also okay. So yes, that I don't know what all we can discuss from this. So I want this class to be more of a discussion, not of a lecture. So if you have any points to add, please feel free to add. I want to jump back to the translations, which says how, which was describing about the dynasty of Pandavas. So, let me see, Pandu, Yudhishthir, Nakula. Yes. So yesterday I was discussing the same thing with Sarthak Prabhu. I was reading the translation and I got to this verse where Sukhdev Goswami is describing about his own dynasty, like Parikshit Maharaj's dynasty, the dynasty that he was born in, the Kuru dynasty, right? So he came to the point where Abhimanyu was born from the womb of Subhadra as son of Arjuna and was conqueror of Atirathas. And from him, by the womb of Uttara, daughter of Vidarbha, you were born. Okay. Until then, it was very normal. And then he said something beautiful. Like he mentioned that you were saved, you were about to be killed, and you were saved from Brahmastra by Lord Krishna, right? So he entered in the womb. Everyone knows that story. Then he said, verse 36, he says, because of your death by the Takshak snake, your son Janmejaya will be very angry and will perform a sacrifice to kill all the snakes in the world. Now he is mentioning about his death, Sukhdev Goswami, to Parikshit Maharaj, who is actually going to die in a couple of days. I don't know how long he has before he dies. But he is mentioning about his death. They are discussing about his death. And Parikshit Maharaj is not afraid of it. How... let me ask you a question. If you know that you're going to die in a few days and you are sitting with someone and discussing it, and that person is bringing up the topic that, oh, you will die like this and then your son will do this, what will be our reaction?
probably run to our son to be taught to do captain.
Yes, something that Devanshi would do is run to the sun and then. Okay, I mean, we would go to our son and say not to do it. That is like, someone who is very, very exalted, I would say, would do that. Thinking of the other person when you are going to die. That is like, you need to be very exalted to think like that. For me, I can say all I would think is myself. That, oh, I'm going to die. I'm going to leave this body. I have a lot of things to do. And probably we would go to our son and discuss about the property and everything. But I don't know how much we would discuss about someone else. We could. But yes, my point here is that how exalted Parishad Maharaj is. He's discussing about his death and he's not afraid of it. He's completely surrendered unto Krishna. He's completely surrendered unto the plan of Krishna. He's completely in sync. He's not what do you call, going against the will? I don't know, there's a word, but it's not coming. Yeah, he's not rebelling against Krishna, not resisting the plan of Krishna, He's completely accepting, if Krishna wants me to die, let me die. Yeah, he was thinking that I was going to die way before, and it was Krishna only who saved me. So now if he wants me to die, then I accept that plan. So for us also, it's very important to understand Krishna's plan and get ourselves in sync with Krishna's plan. It's easy when things are going right, when things are going how we want it to go. Things are in sync, everyone is happy, I'm happy, Krishna is happy. But when things are not going how we want it to go, like Parishad Maharaj, probably he wouldn't want to die when he was ruling the kingdom pretty well, right? He didn't had that in his mind anywhere. But suddenly this thing came. He had two options. He can either go against Krishna's will and counter curse Shringi and or kill the Takshak snake. He was capable of doing everything. He was completely capable of killing Takshak, counter cursing Shringi, and saving himself from this situation. And second option, he can completely surrender to Krishna's will and give up his life. What do you think is the easy one? Killing snake. It seems easy, right? Because he was a Kshatriya, he was a fighter, he was powerful. Killing a snake is not a big deal for him. Any other answers? Vatsal Prabhu says killing the snake is easy one from the two options. That is not the option, Prabhu. Sorry.
Surrendering is not easy. It's killing the snake.
Surrendering is not easy. So then my next question is why surrendering is not easy?
Surrendering is easy.
You think surrendering is easy? And why it is easy?
It's difficult. Question.
It's difficult because we have this ego in ourselves, and that ego doesn't accept the fact that somebody else has control. We don't want to let the control go out of our hands. And it's easy because it's the innate nature of our soul. This is what we will do in our most pure state.
So you both are right. It's easy and difficult. So Yeah, what you said completely makes sense. It's difficult because we have this big ego that, I am the controller. There's a verse in Bhagavad Gita, if anyone remembers that verse. I know the part of it. Ahankar vimudatma karta ahamiti manyate. Gune karma. Yes, Prabhu, if we can pull up that verse. So Krishna is talking about this in Bhagavad Gita, that we living entities, we think that we are the controller, and because of this mentality, it's very difficult for us to surrender. Because what is surrender? Surrender means giving up everything, giving up your desire to, go things your way, for your desire to have that control, have that power. Surrendering means depending on Krishna's will. In Siksashtakam also, every day we recite, there's a verse that says that, you are my Lord, and if you reject me or if you embrace me, I'm ready to accept whatever you give me. So, it seems very easy that, oh, it's just, I have to depend on Krishna's will. But actually, when we have to surrender, when things are going, not the way we want, it's very difficult. I'm speaking this for myself. It's not that I've achieved this state where I am completely in line with Krishna's will. No. It's for every one of us. It's for me. It's very difficult to surrender, right? And so next point is like, what all can we do to, for us to surrender to Krishna, for us to come to the point where we can actually surrender to Krishna. Any thoughts on that? Yes.
I feel like because we are so much absorbed in this material conditioning, that even if we want, we cannot live up with it. And we have these so many desires that those desires bounds us with this material world. And because of that, we are not able to surrender in a capacity we want to. Why? Because we always compare, like if we are getting something, and then I will surrender more and more. So there is always conditioning state that, like, if I get something, I will do that. So to surrender completely, I feel like one has to be above the stage of, material perspective. Like everything is temporary, and only me and my relationship with Krishna is permanent. So once you understand that, then I feel like surrender becomes easy.
So you have to understand that everything is temporary, and if we understand that, it will be easier for us to surrender. Yeah, definitely. If you understand that the way we are experiencing happiness and distress, it's very temporary. It will maybe go on next moment. Then it will be easier for us to surrender. Also, I feel like sometimes, there are three ways anyone learns things. One is by hearing, one is by experience, and the third one is like you don't learn by experience also. So for some, it's easier if they hear something, they will understand it, and then it will be easier for them to give up their attachment or whatever and surrender. For some, it will be like they have to go through that experience and experience that pain to give up that attachment. So it can be, different case by case, but if we are in this process of Krishna consciousness, eventually we will come at the point of surrendering, because the whole process is designed, by Mercer Srila Prabhupada in a way that it will make us surrender. And those of us who are practicing, we will experience some turmoil, we'll experience Krishna's presence in how he's making plans for us to surrender, you know, and it doesn't come necessarily very in the way that we want actually. Sometimes it can come in a way that maybe we are not ready to accept at that point. But if we depend on Krishna, if we genuinely pray to Krishna that Krishna, I want to surrender to you, but at this point my conditioning, they're not allowing me, so please help me go through this conditioning, and someday maybe I will be able to surrender unto you. So yesterday Satya Prabhu was stressing the point of praying, right? And if we genuinely pray, if we genuinely, give ourselves to Krishna, then definitely Krishna is there and taking care of me. Yesterday, Vishesh Prabhu was sharing one more point on chanting. If you're okay, I would like to share that.
In better words and terminology.
Sure. So he said, when I'm chanting, I think of if someone is listening this chanting, if Krishna is listening this chanting, and then he said, it is written in a lot of scriptures that whenever we chant, Krishna listens, and Krishna is all pervading, he's present everywhere, right? So he's most probably listening. So if he's listening, then he can do two things. He can either accept my chanting or he can reject my chanting. But either ways, he is listening, right? So if Krishna is listening, that is a big thing. If Supreme Personality of Godhead is listening to my chanting, it's a very big thing. So he said, if he is listening, let me chant attentively. Why not chant attentively and make him listen to some good chanting, rather than some distracted chanting. So it's a very good point. If we think deeply, then sometimes why we don't chant attentively? Because we feel like we're chanting for ourselves. We feel like, oh, I'm listening this chanting, and it's okay if I skip one or two mantras, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna, it's okay for me. But if we feel that Krishna is listening to this chanting, then we would probably want to chant more attentively. We would probably want to pronounce the mantra clearly. Why? Because Krishna is listening to this mantra. So, yeah, thank you for sharing that point, Prabhu. I really like that point, and I will try to imbibe that when I chant. Any other points? I feel like that's all I wanted to share for today. So if you have any questions, any points, any reflections, I'll be very happy to discuss, or we can.
The person convinced by false ego and material consciousness being carried out by any of the three modes of nature, like sattva guna, passion, and any one of this can happen. Only sattva guna.
Sattva guna can help him, Prabhu. Because sattva guna is like, it's compared to an airport from where you can take off to go above the moods of nature. But the other two, they are like going away from the airport. Like it's considered taking you down. So if you are in sattva gun, there's a high probability you will be able to go above the moods of nature.
Means we are not in Krishna consciousness.
Necessarily, sattva gun is not necessarily Krishna consciousness, but to practice Krishna consciousness, you need to be in sattva gun. Yeah, so that is like an airport. But the goal is not to just go around the airport and be at the airport. The goal is to take off and go above the modes of material nature. Yes, to transcend the modes. Yes, anything else?
So you were talking about conflict resolution. I think often it's a struggle because people want to win these little micro battles. So that's why it's a conflict. But then, especially here, perhaps what can help is what I've seen, the sticky note you put on your mirror. Like something says like,
Why am I doing this?
or something, oh, why did I come here, or something like that.
Yeah.
So just to kind of remind yourself every day that, did I come here to win some micro battles? Or just to contribute overall. So what's important is that if there is a conflict, that for everyone's good or for the movement's good, whatever is better, that narrative should prevail out of the conflict, right? So thinking of it that way instead of just reminding ourselves that it's not about me winning a micro battle.
Yes, definitely. I feel like if we are aware of the higher purpose, then it will be easier for us to give up on those micro battles that you're talking about, Prabhu. Yes, it's difficult sometimes because we are still at the stage where we feel like we want to win those battles, and somewhere we feel good when we win those battles. But ultimately, the goal is to, Trinadapi Sunichena, Tarorapi Sashnuna, Amanina Manadena Kirtaniya Sadahari. So, to be humble than a blade of grass, to be more tolerant than a tree. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says, in such a state, if you sing the glories of Krishna, then you'll be able to attain Krishna. Yeah. And it's very practical also. Imagine a pride, egoistic person who thinks like, I am something, I can do something, I'm the best, I'm this and I'm that. Imagine that person going to Krishna and asking, I want to become your servant. What will Krishna think? Like, do you want to become my servant or do you want to become my boss? Because ultimately, like, within his heart, he would still have that mentality of controlling. He would still have the mentality of, power, like, exhibiting his power, whatever it is. So, yeah, this being in the humble state of mind is definitely very, very important for us to reach the ultimate goal of Krishna Prema. But it should not happen like fanatically. Definitely it takes time and will happen with time. So yeah, we have to, there are two things in Krishna consciousness, Utsahat and Dhairyat. So Utsahat means being enthusiastic, and Dhairyat means being patient. So we have to be both, like we have to be enthusiastic also, and we have to be patient at the same time. That it will happen, it will take some time, but Krishna is there with me. Krishna has taken charge of my life, and he will make sure that somehow or other I will reach him. So we have to be hopeful, but we also have to show enthusiasm. We also have to show eagerness that Krishna, I want to attain you. So that way, eagerness should also be there, that, I want to see you, Krishna. You know that song by George Harrison? He says, I really want to see you. In that song, he's expressing his eagerness to see Krishna. So I really like that song. Yeah, it's a very good song. So we should have both. So eventually, maybe one day, we will be able to see Krishna.
I have a funny question.
Funny question. Okay.
A person might be surrendered to Krishna, but they still would, do conflicts with his devotees. So how do we see that? Like, we don't know like how surrendered the person is, right? So
see, until we are in this material body, there will be conflicts, and up until you reach the stage of Paramhamsa, there will be conflicts, and it's pretty normal also. But it's important if we learn the lessons that we are meant to learn, and if we can help the other person also learn the lessons, or see the mistakes, reflect in it, and then move forward, then it's the best. If not, then Amla Harina Prabhu was sharing something beautiful. He's like, he asked a question to someone. He's like, it's a Maharaj. He said, Maharaj, if I don't like someone, if I'm not going well with some person, community, someone, and what should I do? Most commonly the answer would be like, okay, keep a safe distance, keep yourself away from that person, and respect that person from a distance. Say Hare Krishna. But that Maharaj gives some answer that was like, that also struck me in a way. Maharaj said, serve that person. I was like, okay, it is a profound thing to do, but might not be possible in many circumstances, because the other person might be, if they are actually having some issues with us, then they might be disturbed and also we might be disturbed. But if we can come to a point where we are not disturbed by whatever they're doing, and we are just trying to serve, it will definitely melt that person's heart. Definitely, because ultimately they are in this movement, they are trying to serve Krishna, they're trying to love Krishna. So they have some love in their heart. And if we somehow are able to get to a point where, we kind of bring that love out of them, then definitely, we'll be able to transform that person and ourselves also. So, that is the answer that I somehow got from Amla Harinam. So I just shared that. I don't know if it helps. Okay. Thank you so much, Harish. Grantraj